So I'm thinking a little bit more about intellectual property. Um, I've been reading up on the Apple versus HTC lawsuit, and apparently now HTC is countersuing Apple for 5 patents that Apple apparently infringed upon. Which, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to stand up for HTC's rights to their patents any more than I am for Apple. I just think it's kind of a self-defense measure. I'm sure they got sued first, and I think it's sort of the whole thing is sort of emblematic of the problems of our patent system. The idea behind patents was that they were supposed to promote innovation. Essentially, they would promote innovation by granting a temporary monopoly on a certain idea or certain technology. That the inventor would be entitled to compensation from others who wanted to use that idea. But in so many instances, the patent system has in effect stifled innovation through that temporary monopoly. It creates an inefficiency. So, there have been many people who think we ought to just abolish the whole intellectual property system altogether. And I've been moving a little bit closer in that direction. But rather than just abolishing it, I think there's something it ought to be replaced with. Because I mean, you could make the argument that the free market should determine how much innovation it wants to support. And there are many. There's something to be said for that argument. But at the same time, I think there are certain innovations that we want to promote. We want to promote innovation in clean energy and in medicine and all kinds of things that make society a better place to live in. I think that the whole patent system ought to be replaced with some sort of prize system. Currently the idea is some inventor has an idea they want to patent. They patent it, and then anyone who wants to use the idea has to pay them for it. That creates an inefficiency that means that they get paid for other people using their ideas. And it brings up the price of the product. So in a sense, I think it would be both cheaper and more efficient if instead government just paid them directly instead of them buying a patent from the government so that they get paid by anyone who wants to use the idea, or they can prevent others from using it while they use it on their own inventions. It seems to me like it would be a better idea if the government just paid a certain amount for the idea. You present the idea, you get paid for it. It goes into this sort of Creative Commons where anyone has access to it and can use it to build upon for their own creative ideas, inventions. So my idea is that you'd have the government create several competing agencies whose job it is to allocate their budget to different inventive ideas. They have a fixed budget, and they'll say, okay, we're going to allocate this much this year. They can divide it up however they feel is necessary, and reward ideas that further human progress. And then these prize agencies, if you will, will get audited every year, to see how the degree of innovation that they're rewarding, see what the results are, and then the ones that aren't performing well can get dropped. So that means there's competition among government agencies, and so then they just go and create a new agency to take over for them. And of course, this idea can spread to the private market. And I know a lot of libertarians be against the idea of is government funding agencies, but even from a libertarian perspective, I think there can be private agencies whose purpose it is to promote innovation in areas that they think are important. They give a prize to whoever innovates in the area that they think is important. So I don't quite go that far with libertarians, but I think that would be part of it. But I also think there ought to be public rewards for innovation, things that promote the public good in terms of medicine, in terms of energy, in terms of any kind of improvements in infrastructure. That the state has a stake in promoting those kinds of innovation, and ought to have an active hand in doing so. And so these innovation agencies ought to have a certain budget allocated to them each year, and their job to spend it in a manner that seems wisest. So yeah, I guess I'm kind of getting this idea a little bit from Dean Baker, who promoted a similar idea just for just for medicine. I think the idea can be extended to other areas of innovation, but I think that basically moving from a monopoly system to a prize system is not only more efficient, it's less costly, it's less intrusive in a sense. I mean, for those libertarians who are wary of a government agency, I think this would still be less government than the government required for the enforcement of patents. So anyway, I guess I'll leave it there for now. Peace.